You guys, Blake Lively has withdrawn the Google subpoena against me. We are getting into everything that is going on regarding the whole Blake Lively case, what actually went down there, and so much more. We're also talking about David Dobrik getting called out. We're talking about Sweeney and the whole drama that is just continuing with her, and a creepy situation that is going on between Zach Bryan and Brianna Chickenfry. We're gonna get into everything that has been said this week. Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to the weekly TEACAP. There's a lot that we have to get into today, so let's get right on into it. David Dobrik has posted another vlog. I guess he is actually going to be consistent. Last week he posted a vlog and it was the first time that he's posted one in quite a while, and after he spent so much time saying he's not going to be bringing the vlogs back, he felt like he could never recreate that era in his life where him and all of his friends were filming, and he just didn't want to go back there. But suddenly, I don't know what's happened. He's claiming he's got a lot of money, so money isn't an issue, but he's back to vlogging. And in this vlog, he is giving one of his friends $100,000 to quit his job. And everyone in the comments is obviously bringing up Jeff, because every time David is talking about money, giving money away, everyone's like, well, why don't you give that money to Jeff? Because you guys are currently in a legal battle with each other over the fact that you hurt him and then you didn't pay medical bills. Like, honestly, Jeff would not be suing David, and there wouldn't even be beef if David had been a good friend, because Jeff was willing to keep this accident a secret. He was willing to not talk about it. He was not going to sue David, but it was when David was not really being a good friend to him that Jeff went public with the situation and decided to sue him. But yeah, every time David is giving away money like this, everyone is just like, what's the issue with giving money to Jeff? Like, truly.
We brought you lunch.
What is this for? It's not food.
It's $100,000.
For what?
For you to quit your job right now.
My job right now? I got a lot of stuff going on.
I've never seen anybody react to $100,000. What is going on, John?
He's obviously.
Yeah, I quit my job.
It's not a hard decision. You just got me in a very stressed out spot.
Yeah, we're here to save the day. Take the money so you can hold it.
Anyway, as for another situation that people just do not understand, let's talk about what's going on between Zach Bryan and Brianna Chickenfry. Recently, they kind of went back and forth with each other online, which made it clear that he hates her. He does not like her. He doesn't want to hear about her, and he's definitely mad that she did not sign that NDA after they broke up. But people notice that this girl that he has been hanging around recently looks just like Brianna. So for just a little refresh, Brianna Chickenfry, best known from Barstool and the Plan Breed podcast and BFFs, started dating Zach Bryan in summer 2023. Zach had just gone through a very public breakup with his ex, Deb, and his relationship with Brianna stirred a lot of controversy early on, as a lot of people loved Zach's previous girlfriend and the timeline seemed very tight in between breakups, and so everyone wasn't really loving Brianna at first. They ended up having a very public breakup last year, and Brianna accused Zach of wanting to silence her with money, but she denied it and spoke out about how horrible she said he treated her during their relationship. And well, now people have been paying attention to his moves and noticed that this girl that he is hanging out with looks scary similar to Brianna. People have said, I wasn't prepared for how much they actually look alike. He's obsessed with her and tries so hard to pretend he's not. She looks more like Brie than Brie does. I fear I cannot tell who's who. Usually I think stuff like this is the internet reaching, but they genuinely could be twins. One user posted a photo of Zach and this girl and said, the way this isn't Brianna Chickenfry, where did he find her? Is she lab grown? I'd pay to see Brie's reaction. Brianna has reacted to, though. Last month, she posted a TikTok using the Taylor Swift song lyric, "Your new girl is my clone." But people keep going back to this and talking about the fact that he is dating someone that looks just like her, and it's not like just he has a type of thing. It's like, you do not like Brianna, but you found someone that looks exactly like her. It's just a weird situation, and everyone is wishing this girl the best given all that Brianna has come out and said about Zach and how he is in relationships, how he treats people, things that his exes have liked that kind of support what Brianna said about him and exposed him for. So everyone's just like, I don't know how this girl could be with him, but all right, good luck. As for Sydney Sweeney, though, we've got to talk about her again, though we talked about it early on in the week, this whole American Eagle ad drama. There is more to this story. As mentioned, she has faced a lot of backlash for this commercial that she has done for American Eagle. It's turned into a full-on controversy because of how the visuals and wording were interpreted, especially the use of the phrase great genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
People felt like this was promoting eugenics and accused the ad of glamorizing selective beauty standards and just promoting white supremacy. It was this whole big conversation because Sydney is a blue-eyed, blonde-haired actress, and she's talking about having great genes in this, and everyone just felt like instead of this being a fun little play on words, it was a secretive message of you gotta be blonde and have blue eyes to have good genes. People then started going back in Sydney's past. They were like, oh, remember that one party that she attended during COVID where people were wearing Trump hats? Like, everyone was starting to think about her and where her family's political values lie. And it was just this whole thing, you guys. Like, I'm sure she regrets doing the American Eagle ad now. But it certainly didn't help her whole situation when the White House decided to come out and make a statement about the whole thing. Variety tweeted, "The White House is firing back at outrage over American Eagle's Sydney Sweeney ad, which reads, 'Sydney Sweeney has great genes,' a play on great genes. Some of the left slammed it for promoting whiteness and thinness. This warped, moronic, and dense liberal thinking is a big reason why Americans voted the way they did in 2024. They're tired of this BS." Someone then quote tweeted this and said, "Sydney Sweeney's publicist right now," and attached this image that says, "It gets worse. The White House just defended you." So yeah, they just felt like this was getting way worse for her with the White House defending it. But in general, people just feel like when it comes to Sydney, she's kind of selling herself out. She's doing all of these ads like back to back to back. And the thing is, she's a big time actress and they feel like she is just saying yes to everything that is coming into her door. And also she's talked about people sexualizing her and, you know, not wanting that to happen. Yet she's doing things like selling her bathwater soap. And then with this American Eagle ad, people weren't just talking about the whole blonde hair, blue-eyed jeans aspect of it being something that was controversial, but they were also like, why is she talking like that? Why does it feel so sexual? Why is she always having to be so sexual in order to sell something? They just weren't understanding. I will say she did do a very wholesome Baskin-Robbins ad in between the soap and this, but it is just something that people are talking about. You don't want to be sexualized, but then you kind of sexualize yourself. And some people are like, I don't know if she thinks this is some empowering thing to do of like, you know, you can't sexualize me, I can sexualize myself. I'm going to profit off of it if you're going to do it. So I don't know where the mindset is, but that is what has been said about her as of this week. It has certainly been a big conversation surrounding her name. Now, to get into the big story of the week, the thing that really relieved me was this entire Blake Lively Google subpoena situation just being whisked away from any of my problems, okay? I'm really scared for that legal bill, but it's all cleared up now, so at least that's that. If you don't know, recently it was made public that Blake Lively had subpoenaed Google, Twitter, also known as X, and TikTok. She had subpoenaed a number of creators that had made videos about her, talking about her, even if they weren't commentary channels or creators. If they had just made a video about her in some sort of capacity, it seemed that is the reason why these people were getting a subpoena. It wasn't everyone that's talked about her. We're talking about like 20, 16, and like 6. Like, we are not talking about massive numbers either. That's why this whole thing was so random. But I was one of the YouTubers that did get notice from Google that she had sent them a subpoena and she wanted all of this information. She wanted names, backup emails, bank account information, credit card information, like weird stuff that was just so strange. And it seemed in the end, they just wanted to know if any of these creators had ever been contacted by Justin Baldoni or someone from his team to make content that was negative about her. That was really all they wanted to know. Now, there were a couple ways that people could have gone about this. Google sent out a notice that said you could file a motion to quash to basically say, I don't want this to happen. The motion to quash would be made public, so it would be in the docket for people to read. I heard that was an expensive route to go, so we were trying an alternative route to talk to her lawyers directly and be like, hey, like, what do you guys want to know? And they basically said, have you talked to Justin? Have you been hit up by his team? And we were like, no, that has not happened at all. And then what do you know? I get this email that I have been withdrawn from the subpoena. I get this email that says, hello, Google has received a notice of withdrawal for information relating to your YouTube/Google account at spillsesh for the subpoena pertaining to Blake Lively, Wayfarer Studios. As such, Google will not produce information related to your Google account in response to this subpoena. And the crowd goes wild. Like, thank God, like, what the heck? And I wasn't the only one. It was reported earlier this week by Daily Mail that Blake Lively has withdrawn subpoenas issued to 3 independent content creators who had covered the lawsuit amid her ongoing legal dispute with Justin Baldoni. In court documents obtained by Us Weekly, Lively's legal team informed the court of the decision on July 26, days after the YouTubers asked the judge to intervene. The now withdrawn subpoenas were initially sent to Google and X, formerly Twitter, requesting personal data from creators Cassidy O'Connell, Mackenzie Folks, and Lauren Nadie. The content creators pushed back, with O'Connell writing to the court, there is no evidence or sound legal basis whatsoever to have issued the subpoena in the first place, and calling the broader effort a witch hunt for discovery. Nadie echoed the sentiment, describing the subpoena as unduly burdensome and accusing Lively's team of attempting to harass and intimidate small creators. In a letter submitted to the judge, Lively's attorney stated, based on the third party's representations made in Meet and Confers, public statements, and/or information provided in their moving papers, there is no further information required from the subpoenas as to these specific third parties at this time. They continued, Miss Lively has therefore withdrawn the subpoenas as to them. While Lively's legal team is no longer pursuing these 3 individuals, they made it clear that the broader investigation into the online smear campaign allegedly orchestrated by Baldoni's team is ongoing. Her team also talked to Us Weekly this week as they wrote, a rep for Lively told us, subpoenas are not accusations of wrongdoing. They are tools for gathering admissible evidence in federal court. There is no silencing of content creators. They are obviously making their views known. This is a harassment and retaliation lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and a number of other Wayfarer defendants, and we are simply seeking information to aid in our fact gathering. So that's how they were defending this whole sending out the subpoenas to these creators. Now, as for what else has gone on this week, Blake Lively is continuing her legal battle against Justin, and things just got a little more intense. This week, Blake gave a deposition in her harassment lawsuit against Justin, and to everyone's surprise, Justin actually showed up in person to sit in on it. Blake had previously requested that her deposition take place at her lawyer's office rather than a more public setting, citing concerns about paparazzi and media attention. The judge granted that request, but Justin and his team were still entitled to attend, and he used that opportunity to show up in person. In her lawsuit, Blake alleges that Justin engaged in inappropriate behavior while they were working on It Ends With Us. She claims that he improvised unwanted kissing scenes, pressured her to watch unnecessary content, and even entered her trailer without permission while she was undressed. She also accuses him of orchestrating this PR smear campaign against her once she pushed back on his behavior. Now, when it comes to this whole deposition, she will be answering questions as to what she has said about him, and according to TMZ, the deposition is a relatively private affair with attorneys for both sides, a court reporter, a videographer, Blake and Baldoni in the room. And I know people want to be a fly on the wall in this deposition. They want to be in the room where it happened. People wish that they could see the footage of this. I don't know if that will ever happen. I know Justin's team wanted it live streamed. Her team said no. I'm sure her team will do absolutely anything in their power to make sure nobody would ever see this. But I know a lot of people would really want to see it. But that is what is going on with Blake Lively this week. The whole lawsuit update. I certainly want to know what you guys think about this, the whole Brianna Chickenfry, Zach Bryan situation, David Dobrik, and what's going on with Sydney Sweeney. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.